Top story on ABC News Breakfast. The Australian Defence Force has been hit by claims of another sexual assault.
ACT police have confirmed they've charged a 23-year-old soldier for allegedly sexually assaulting a woman at the Royal Military Academy at Duntroon. For more on this, we're joined by our reporter Nick Dole in Canberra. Nick, good morning to you. What do we know about the alleged circumstances of this assault?
Well, good morning, Michael. This alleged assault actually happened in the early hours of yesterday morning, but the details didn't become available until later on yesterday. Police were called to the Royal Military College at Duntroon in the early hours of yesterday with reports that a woman had been sexually assaulted after a man had broken into her house. Now, they arrived at the scene and he was nowhere to be found, but after a search around 5 a.m. yesterday morning, with the help of military police, ACT police did arrest a man, a 23-year-old man, on the grounds of the Royal Military College at Duntroon, and he was taken to the ACT watch house where he was questioned, and he's now since been charged with 2 counts of sexual intercourse without consent. Of course, being Good Friday, there's not a lot happening legal-wise today, so he'll face court tomorrow.
And this, of course, comes hard on the heels of those investigations into the Skype sex scandal at ADFA.
That's right, and while we don't know a lot about this case in particular, it's certainly not the sort of thing the Defence wants associated with it. Obviously, after those incidents that we saw at the Australian Defence Force Academy, the Skype sex scandal triggered a range of investigations, including the Kirkham inquiry, and some of those investigations ultimately turned up around 1,000 cases of alleged abuse that Defence considers at least 700 of which to be quite plausible. So they're now sorting through the details of them, and another alleged assault on the grounds of a Defence property is not something Defence is going to be wanting to deal with.
And moving to political news, it is Good Friday, as you mentioned, a day offering some much-needed respite for Craig Thompson as the fallout from the Fair Work Australia investigation into his time at the Health Services Union continues.
That's right, and Craig Thompson yesterday was taking some heart from the fact that the DPP had handed back the report and said that it couldn't investigate. He was actually sort of, suggesting that the DPP, in doing so, was suggesting that there was no case to answer. Really, the DPP was just saying that it requires a formal brief of evidence. Now, the pressure remains on Fair Work Australia to apply that and to provide that to the DPP. But on top of that, Fair Work Australia has last night agreed to hand over the report to a Senate committee, but it could take 4 to 6 weeks. So more waiting for the details of that investigation.
The saga continues. Nick Dole in Canberra, thank you.
Thanks, Michael.